My name is Ailbe Ryan. We live in a place called White in West Tipperary. I farm here with my son. He's finished his ag science degree, so he's here at the moment with me. We're predominantly dairy farm, milk 135 pedigree Holstein cows. Keep the replacement heifers, about 50 replacement heifers, and sell all the beef calves. Type of farm we have is a very dry farm. We often suffer from drought, maybe once or twice each year, but other than that, we can't complain.
My name is Marie-Louise Ryan. I'm working for Mulcair Vets. We're a 12-vet mixed practice. We have two branches. One is in Capamore, County Limerick, and the other is about 15 minutes over the road in Newport, County Tipperary. So we cover both Tip and Limerick. We have 3 full-time small animal vets, and the rest of us are predominantly farm animal vets doing a bit of mixed practice out of ours. Personally, I qualified for ECD in 2015. We've heard of pedigree Charlies on our home farm at home, so I would have always been very interested in agriculture and veterinary from an early age.
I suppose rewarding, sure, some days you'd wonder what you're at, but most of the time we enjoy it. First of all, sure, I'm my own boss. I can make my own decisions. We often make wrong ones and we make right ones, so the wrong ones, we know we made them, so they help us in the future, I suppose. Second of all, I'd like to think I'm a food producer in the bigger scale of things, and see our product going worldwide through our co-op is Arabon Co-op in Ena, so we pride in our co-op, and they hopefully they pride in their producers, and to look into the future, like I find farming, we have a great work-life balance because we're very busy for 2 months of the year, in February and March and maybe April, but after that we do have a lot of time to ourselves, and you can do things besides farming as well, in fairness.
I think the thing I enjoy most about being a vet is building relationships with people, earning people's trust. The more time you spend with people, the more they're inclined to engage with you, the more they're inclined to progress things on. And then when that relationship is built, how you can progress things on a farm, how you can then monitor that progression, and the beauty of what we do in dairy farming is that everything is measurable and monitorable, so we can really see how we progress and how things can be advanced on a farm, be it through synchronization or the use of sex semen, getting more heifer calves, reducing calf mortality and morbidity, all of those things that, they're very tangible, you can see results. And I think that's what I really like about veterinary. You can see progress.
Sure, of course, calf rearing, I'd start calf rearing. I think the most important time is the dry period before the calf is born at all, to get the mineral status of the cows right, to have your cow in the proper body condition score. We'd always give our cows a kilo of soya before calving and a bit of a kilo of maize meal just to get the colostrum quality right. Also, do a proper vaccination program is crucial, have our rotavirus corona done in time, have all the vaccines in time, and have everything. Preparation for the calving season is very important. There's no good preparing in the morning, the first calf hits the ground. So my calving season starts when the cows go dry, and then when the cows calve, make sure have lots of straw. It's the cheapest medicine you'll buy. Have lots of straw and be comfortable starting off, and have all the other work out of the way. That's where my calf season starts. Then when the calf is born, the main thing is we also sort out the colostrum. We have a refractometer. We use the best quality colostrum always, and use lots of it. And once you're that far, a few days with the calf born, then after that, just keep your temperature right in the calf house, keep your calf feeder working properly, and keep the calf in lots of straw. That's why I find calf rearing the 3 main parts of calf rearing for me anyway.
I think the 3 most important things that are rearing healthy calves, the first thing is your colostrum management. So, getting 3 litres into a calf quickly within the first 2 hours, and that quality colostrum, good quality colostrum, testing colostrum quality, and then harvesting that colostrum hygienically, storing it hygienically, and actually getting it into the calf hygienically. It's not just a case of getting the milk from a cow and putting it in a bucket and then transferring it to the calf. We can do a lot of damage in that process, and it's a case of really getting it in well and clean and quickly. The next thing then is the calf's environment. Calf housing and management, from the calving pen to getting the calf into, be it individual or group calf pens, a good bed of straw that's dry when you kneel down, the calves can nest in it, clean fresh air, be that through Yorkshire boarding or positive pressure ventilation, and then temperature management for calves as well. A lot of calves are cold in sheds. All our new sheds, they have to be easily managed. You have to be able to drive a tractor in, but that makes them too high, they're too cold, so getting jackets on calves. And then the third thing is calf nutrition. Again, starting with your colostrum, getting your transition milk into calves, good quality milk replacer, and then getting them on to concentrates and roughage and developing their rumen for later in life.
I was always, I suppose, not pushed on using stomach tubes with calves, but actually, if we had twins now, I find before, if you had maybe a set of twins, you might only get in 1 litre or 2 litres into them, and I'd leave them at that, but now I top them up to the 3 or 4 litres in the beginning, and I was always afraid to do that in the past, but now any calf that doesn't take enough colostrum, I just top it up with the stomach tube or else stomach tube a calf if it's too difficult, because any calf that ever gets a stomach tube at birth, I don't ever see any issue with them once they have enough colostrum got. You'd find it hard to kill them if you wanted to put it that way. You'd keep them alive a lot easier anyway, in fairness, yeah.
I think don't underestimate the importance of hygiene. Calves are babies. They should be treated like babies. They have no immune system when they hit the ground. So everything we do can actually affect them. So we best practice and we can give them a great immune system, but also through poor practice, we can really affect them and cause disease. So I think hygiene is number one when managing baby calves.
Sure, I suppose the most rewarding, we calve all our heifers down at about 22 months. It'd be roughly kind of under 600 kilos. Just working back from there, I suppose, the rewarding thing is to see 30 heifers in the parlour every year at the proper body weight, reared by myself and my son, and from there back we'll say if you have your calves reared, if you wean them at the proper weight, then they're going to be going in calf at the proper weight. They're going to reach puberty when you want to get them in calf, and just the most important thing is some calves are actually weaned too quick as well, I find, on some farms. So if you get to the 12 or 14 weeks with the calves, it stands them for life. And also, if you can keep out pneumonia or any other diseases out of calf rearing, your cows will longevity of the herd after, cows will last a lot longer and go in calf a lot easier and that kind of thing, in fairness.
I think probably hard work never killed anyone. I think it's been the story of my life. I've worked really hard to get to where I am, and I think, don't be afraid of it. You will get results. Put the head down, keep going, and while you think you're in the middle of something hard, keep going. All the bad days come to an end and the good days come again. So definitely work hard, and it doesn't hit anyone.
I suppose everyone has good days and bad days, but what I find is to stay motivated. We know we have 2 hard months, February, March, heading us, but myself and herself, early January, we always sit down, we book a foreign holiday for kind of the middle of June when things quieten off or when they get easier. So it is important to have something to look forward to when things go wrong or when things are down, because time passes every day and everything actually happens eventually and will come so. While that's the only thing I find, if to stay motivated, is just have something to look forward to. But it's also very important to keep talking to other people, because when you do talk to other people, you realise you're not in the same boat. Everyone is in the same boat as yourself. There's something wrong in most farms that time of the year.
I suppose for vets, the new Vet Pod with Charles Shavas and Natasha Mitchell is a really great, both technical and interesting thing to come around for vets. It's not something that we have in Ireland really, this vet podcast, so it's really nice to have something like that. On a grand scheme of things, documentaries on one, I'm a big fan of listening to their podcasts. There's a huge variety of different things that are discussed really in depth, and they really do offer a great diversion from your daily life as well. So when you're driving around the country, it's nice to listen to something completely different and have a little bit of insight to someone else's life. So I think that's really great. My
good mother, God rest her, she always said to me, if I was complaining, what's wrong with you? There's always someone worse off than you. So I find that's what I always think. And in fairness, today might be bad, but I always say tomorrow will be better and the day after. Every day can't be bad. You'll come across this bad day during the calf season, but every day won't be. For every one day you'll get 4 or 5 good days anyway, in fairness. But the main thing is, if you went in for your lunch and turn on the TV, when you look at how many people get killed on the road and different things happen. So that's the only thing that I find. There's always someone worse off than you, so don't be crying always.
For myself, I find preparing for on-call is something that I really have to do. So I really have to meal prep. I find if I don't have something nice in the fridge that I can go and stick in the microwave and eat, it makes life a lot worse. So run in, have a nice dinner, then you can handle anything, no matter how busy you are on call. Once you've had the dinner, everything else is fine. I can cope. I get really hungry, so I find it's really nice to have a good dinner. And I exercise. I really find it's really beneficial to myself, my mental health and physical health as well, like getting out and going for a walk, even if it's just taking the dog, just to get away from things for half an hour makes such a difference.
Sure, I suppose the biggest thing that they misunderstand is, like, we're after having a bank holiday on Monday now. Like, most people, 95% of the non-farming population wouldn't believe there would be up milking cows on Monday morning at 5 o'clock, and that's where their food actually comes from, and the process of producing the food. There's a lot of the younger generation just, I'd say they never saw a cow being milked, or they don't know how the food is produced. Everything is just on the table for them. So that annoys me a little, that people should have more. I'm not looking for respect of anyone, but I mean that they should have more background as regards how food is produced, and maybe it is even an educational thing that it should be brought into schools up along, that maybe younger children should come visiting farms, or just to open their mind, I think, in fairness.
I think biological products have really changed things and moved us away from the use of antibiotics. So we're constantly trying to reduce our use of antibiotics, and things like precision microbes have really helped that. Both in terms of prevention and treatment of issues. Like calf diarrhea predominantly is not a bacterial problem. So by using a biological product like precision microbes, it discourages the use of antibiotics for something that's not going to do anything for anyway. So I certainly think it has changed people's mindset in terms of, how we deal with these issues on farm, and that, the beauty of it being a preventative or a treatment has really helped people come around to that idea.
Off farm, the biggest thing is to get to know that you're off an evening or you're off a day, and to be able to know that you can switch off for that evening or day, whichever you like to call it. I wouldn't mind. I like a good hurling match to me to go to, or even go to a good agricultural show or a good agricultural event. I wouldn't switch off. I wouldn't, because I'd switch off from my own farm for the day. I'd like to go to see what other people are doing in the agricultural background, and even learn from them as well. So I'd be optional whether to be a hurling match, or even to go away just for a drive out the country and go for a walk in some nice scenic spot with herself or whatever. That would do me. My demands wouldn't be huge as regards switching off for the day.
I think the nature of veterinary, and the fact that 90% of what you do deals with people and animals, means that there's a lot of strange and funny things happen over the course of the years. I think some of the contraptions I've seen cows being set up in to stop them rolling out for flat, or I saw a lamb hanging in a shopping bag one day because his little legs didn't work very well, so it's his way of getting to suck the O. Or I had one guy, farmer, one night, absolutely polluted, drunk, fall upside down into the middle of all of my instruments doing a cesarean. So it's best just to laugh at these incidents. Another day I had to look at a yo who had ran past the inside of the Jeep, and the farmer in his wisdom slapped out the door of the Jeep and knocked the yo out stone cold. So not great for the yo, but in hindsight, these things are quite funny, really.
Sure. I'm with Mulcair Veterinary a good few years before Marie-Louise ever came. I feel every bit, I always had a great relationship with them down the years. I can't, it is a very unusual thing. If I ring to have an animal sick, I have a vet in the yard with less than an hour, sometimes maybe 20 minutes. I am compared with human health. The veterinary practice long may it last, but I hope it does. But it's very unusual that animals can get seen before humans so quick and get such a quick response. The vet, and from my point of view, it takes the worry if when you're not at your best in the peak calf rearing season. You're a bit, your brain is a bit all over the place and things, and you probably do things, or maybe say, he'll be all right till tomorrow or whatever, but a problem can get bigger and get worse. So I'd always, rather than think that things would improve without intervening, I'd rather get the vet to look at something. And it gives me great peace of mind that when you'd have a vet or have Marie-Louise, whoever comes to the farm, and it gives me peace of mind to know that you'd know by their reaction, have we a problem here, haven't we? At least it solves, it gives me peace of mind, and you'd probably sleep easier that night anyway, in fairness. So I'd like to think the vet-farm relationship is very good, and the vets are a crucial part of our lives, in fairness, because they give us such a good service.
I think, farmer trust is huge, and it's a huge part of what we do, and, you're trusting us with your future and your business, and it's really important that you trust us, and every farmer trusts us and believes that we actually do have everyone's best interest at heart. And by early intervention and prevention, that really shows how people trust us, and how you bring us in as part of the team, I suppose, on farm, in terms of dealing with an issue. That we're not just firefighters, that we are an important part of how this business progresses going forward. We're all part of a team producing food. So in terms of human health and animal health and that whole One Health picture, that, you know, that farmer-vet relationship is really, really important to actually manage that going forward.